We are here. Oh, it's 7 watchers. It's not bad. We started off on 6 last week, Mark. That's not bad. How are we all, folks? Can you hear us?
We are live. 7 watching. Yes, I'm there. There we are. Found me. I found me on my phone. I found me on my other monitor. Yes, we are live.
What's happened there?
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Are you all right there? Are you sorted, Rob?
Yeah, sorted.
Yeah.
Just the adverts start coming up on the other laptop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just muted my phone just so.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Always being disturbed by some other devices somewhere. It's like, yeah, forgot to mute it. Yeah. Well, welcome everybody.
Yeah, can everyone hear us? Because we'll put a comment in the chat, please.
Yeah. Thumbs up. Just give a thumbs up if you're there. Yeah, just checking in with us. I'm looking at my. I need to put that in the same place so I look in the right space. Hey, Reggie on the road.
Reggie on the road. Oh, I haven't got it. Well, I'm tickled one mine.
I don't know.
Chats.
Show. Where am I?
Here we are. Yeah, good. Reggie.
There we go.
Hello, Reggie. Hello, Brett. Useful.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Thank you,
Brett's
guys.
just done a
nice
video,
to be
actually.
here.
I haven't seen it yet. Brett's just done a video on a day in the life of his day job, but I haven't watched it yet, so we're watching that soon.
Oh, that's an idea for a video, isn't it? Day in the life. A day in the life of.
That's your entire channel.
Well, yeah, it is, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah, I do. Yeah.
That's what you do every day.
I don't show. What I don't show is going in like early in the morning, collecting all into the trades. Yeah, I'm like, I'm knackered. I haven't had coffee.
And then walking back again at night.
Yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, you don't see that.
I saw your video actually on your last part of that garden room. You did one part of it where I think it was a Monday morning. You couldn't work. Your brain couldn't work out quadrants or something.
Oh yes. Yeah, my brain wasn't working. No, it simply wasn't. What was I trying to do? I can't remember what I was trying to do. I was cutting inverted angles.
Ah, right, yeah.
I was like, no, I just had no idea. I was like, no, it's not working. The thing is, you may have done it a dozen times before. Goes.
Yeah.
And Andy was like, what are you doing? And I said, I went to him, mate, my brain fart. I cannot work it out. I was like, and what I had to do was turn it upside down as well, because it was upside down, because it was on the ceiling. So it was really like, I just could not. I was about to throw the thing across and the saw across the garden.
You have to visualize something first, don't you? You've got to visualize it in your head before you do any cuts, before you do any measurement. You've got to visualize, think, right, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just don't click.
No, it was. But that's not an isolated incident. No. And I'm going, I have no bloody idea what I'm doing.
I've got no hope because you've got to feed it in on me. So I've got absolutely no hope.
I stop and I go, right. But I don't show that much on the videos, because obviously
they're bloopers.
Yeah, I should shoot. Someone did say, I think some people have said, do some bloopers. Well, I don't know whether I do many bloopers, but or that I consider bloopers. But there are moments where I'm standing there. Which I think it would just be boring video, because I'm standing there scratching my head, not having a clue what I'm doing. So.
No, I wouldn't say it would be boring, mate. I wouldn't say it would be boring at all. We got some comments.
Brilliant. Yeah, read them out, Rob.
G Thayer. Hey guys, Glenn from Sully, California, USA. Whereabouts?
Never been there. Wow. Lovely to have you.
I have. Yeah, I loved it. Probably about 25 years ago now.
I've been as far as Chicago and the Midwest. Been to Florida a number of times. The normal Disney, but I've never been over to California. So, but maybe I should sometime.
Oh, it's fantastic! I loved it. And then I drove to San Diego, then across to Palm Springs, and then up to Las Vegas, and then San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
I did that twice, actually.
Proper road trip.
Oh, and I drove through to. I was very young, and I drove through to Mexico, thinking, it's dead easy. It's just down the road from San Diego. Convertible car that I hired with suitcases in the back as well, thinking go through customs very easy, just wave you through, come through, and I'm thinking I've got to get back yet. Trying to get back 3 hours in a queue. I've got there and thought, oh, we might as well just go back. So I can say I've been to Mexico for 4 hours.
4 hours. Brilliant.
That was it. Yeah. It's something to talk about.
We have John Buller. Hi everybody. Hi John. Sean is here. Hello Rob and Mike. How you doing? From Sean in Wrexham. Yeah, I didn't realise you were in Wrexham, Sean. So Wrexham. is quite big news with Rob and what's his name? The two Hollywood A-listers who bought Wrexham Football Club.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds, isn't it? And Rob McElvey.
Yeah, him out of Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they've
Well, apparently he had a meeting with Rishi Sunak. We shouldn't be going to politics.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Anyway, he was in a meeting with him, promoting Wales in the TV industry. So
brilliant.
I think good. It's all good.
Bill's here. Idler's Dream. Bill, hi guys. Adam, hey, gents. Central California. There we go. Near Fresno. No idea what that is, but we're now going to all do Google Maps as to see where Fresno is.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Do that now.
So Google Maps will tell us. Adam, so chaps, took your advice on my roof issue from the other week and now pitched it. Not finished. Brilliant. Looking good. Oh, well done, Adam. That's brilliant.
Well done, mate.
Well done.
Perfect.
Yes. Not finished, all the lower plumb cuts, but looking good. Brilliant, mate. Brilliant. Hopefully you didn't get...
Go on, sorry, mate.
Yeah, I was just hoping he didn't get too rained on. I don't know where Adam is because this week has been sort of hit and miss with the weather, hasn't it? So he's been out there making a roof. He'll tell us whether he got wet or not, I'm sure. But
is he out in Lincolnshire way? Did you say Lincolnshire last week, Adam?
Yeah.
I think it was Evening the Swine.
Evening the Swine, yeah. Evening all. Yeah.
Following Adam's comments as well there, what we're going to do at some point, we could do it from today, actually. It'd be interesting to see all your sheds, workshop, man caves, whatever else. If you want to send a picture, either yourself inside the shed or around it, or actually just a picture inside there or outside there, if you want to put it through to an email address, we'll do like a gallery board. What we actually want to do eventually is, on this stream, is be able to share pictures and share videos and images, that sort of thing. So if you want to, send me an email of your shop, workshop, whatever, and it's Weekend Shed. I'll use mine for now, and then we'll probably set up another one for this live stream. But it's a Weekend Shedhead at Yahoo. So if you send it through to that, we might do like a gallery presentation of all the sheds.
That'd be quite nice, yeah. And just going forward to tonight, if you have a question, please put a capital Q and then so we can see it, so we know it's a question rather than just a generic sort of part of the conversation, which we want as well. We want both that we keep chatting away to each other, and we'll mediate that. And but yeah, if you've got a question, put a capital Q and then write the question.
Yeah, and to anyone else that's in the chat room as well, anyone else you want a question, an open question to everybody that's here. It's good that you guys are speaking as well to each other. So not necessarily at us, but anybody that's in the room. And if you want to make a general comment, just put a comment then. It doesn't have to be a question every time. We've got a bit of an announcement as well. Should we just do it?
Yeah, Adam's just put there. Adam, can you list the address in the show more section? That's the email address, I assume.
I bet I can just put it in here, can't I?
Put it in here. Just type it in. Type it in the chat. Yeah, just put it in the chat.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Great minds come together.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see. I can chat as well. Hello. I'm going to write hello.
And if you are new here, we are newbies. We haven't got
really. There we go. I've said hello. I've chatted in my own live chat.
There you go. Hello. I'm glad I've got my cheap Wilco's glasses on because I can't really see what I'm doing. Right, okay. Weekendshedhead at yahoo.com. Enter.
There we go. And Scrapwood Andy is here. Hi, Mark and Rob. Great double act from Scrapwood. It's great double act. The proof will be in the pudding when we're in a year's time. There's me and Rob here live and nobody's here.
Well, we did say that we got to a limit of 21 watchers last week, didn't we?
We did.
We're up to 19 or 18, so we're getting there.
Cooking on gas,
as long as we go in, in that direction. We're not bothered. We ain't bothered about the numbers really. We just want to. What we're doing is worthwhile, and I think the numbers show that.
It's facilitating.
The reason. We're not.
Definitely, it's facilitating that chat and just that discussion, that's being together, that community. That's what we're about. That's what I'm really about on my channel as well. There's a lot of stuff around well-being, and if you want to talk about anything, keep it light. But if you want to talk about well-being and how that, how what you do looks after you, or anything, maybe some questions around that. But I do say keep it light, because we're all in here together just to look after each other and have a good time. But it's not a big, deep and meaningful. We're just gonna. But if you've got something you want to add to that and go with that, and you want to throw a question in that direction or a comment, please do.
Exactly. So it's men in sheds that are letting off steam but not letting off steam with laughter. I think that's probably what we're to do on a Thursday night, 7 o'clock. We're going to flip from both channels. Obviously, we're on Mark's this week. We'll be on mine next week. Just carry on from there.
Brilliant. John has just put question, just to quote Q, just to let you know, I find your mental health chats very helpful when working on sites, the stress, etc. Thanks, John. Really appreciate that.
John.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Cheryl Scott Bailey.
All down to you, Mark, that is.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's a community, isn't it? And it's just putting that out.
Yeah. I think from what your chats. I thought he was referring to your segments on your channel, on your.
Maybe he is. I think he is referring to my chats, but it's there for everyone to share, isn't it? And I really,
of course, it is.
That. Please share the videos. You can share the videos if I'm more than happy for that. If it is certainly on those sort of things, if you feel like, or you can point people in that direction. If you're on site and you've got some people and you're talking, and maybe you can just put some of those things out to other guys and invite them to come and watch.
Yeah. Cheryl Scott Bailey, hi gents, tuning in from Northern Ireland. Hello, Cheryl. More than welcome.
Brilliant.
Are you? Whereabouts are you in Northern Ireland? Are you sort of Belfast way?
Yeah, let us know in the comments where you are, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Lovely to have you here. Lovely tuning in from Northern Ireland. Question.
So, has anyone else been trying to get used to hand tools rather than power tools during the energy price crisis? That is a very good point. And that's what often a debate: who uses hand tools, who uses power tools.
Yes.
And that's a really good question. And there's a guy. What's his channel called? Huge channel in America. And he builds log cabins out.
Right, Woodwright.
No.
Are you talking Woodwright?
Self-reliance. My self-reliance. Yeah, huge channel, millions of subscribers, and he has the option. I'm sure he's mentioned this one of his videos before, to use power tools, but he does everything by hand. I mean, everything. He uses a manual drill as well, a handheld drill, and he's building log cabins, real graft. Big saws. But his point was that when he becomes, I think it's more when he becomes sort of off-grid, and if he needs to become off-grid, he's got the skills to use these tools, and he's building up energy. He's building up strength, all this sort of thing as well. So, it's a really good point, Adam, and I'm sure there's many people out there, and hopefully some comments on if that is a reason for using hand tools.
Yeah, and I think it's a good point. I mean, obviously, if you trade, then you're probably not. But I think if people, there's lots of us that are doing it in our sheds and our small, in our little workshops and places, that is part of just something we do at part time, bits, on the side or to keep us active. So it's a very good point. But I think, there's another conversation that actually, being able to be really proficient, as Rob has just said, being really proficient with hand tools is the basis and core skills for everything we do. And if we're just always going, because somebody made a comment on, I've had some comments on some of my videos that you do seem to saw a lot. Why do you do that when you could be using power tools? And yeah, I get it, but actually, there's something about just
satisfaction,
that basic skill, because it can be easily lost if you never ever, being able to cut square. I will only be able to cut continuously square, and sometimes I don't. or it's slightly
No,
out. But if I just stop doing it and all I'm doing it is aided by machining tools and saws, then I'm going to lose that skill eventually. So there is actually a big reason to keep using hand tools, and you should have a good set of hand tools.
Exactly. I mean, it's similar, I suppose, in a way. I used to have an allotment, and I had one for a few years, and I'm at the wrong point in life to have an allotment, really. But I really wanted to grow my own vegetables and fruits and everything. It's in spitting distance of my house as well. And you look at the prices of even organic food, and when you look at everything, the time you put into an allotment, everything considered, is far cheaper just even by the top quality farm shop organic products, but it's the satisfaction of growing it, the satisfaction involved. So sometimes it's not about speed, it's not about convenience, it's about putting human touch to something, putting your stamp on something. And you can tell somebody, oh, that was grown in my allotment or my back garden, or that was cut by hand, I made that by hand. No power tools, no electricity. What an accomplishment. When we look at our old school projects, I haven't got any actually. I don't know where they are, but you look at them, they would have all been done by hand. They're probably in my mum and dad's loft somewhere.
But I don't know about you. Whenever I sit in old buildings or old churches or cathedrals, or you get a chance to look around these places that have been around for hundreds, thousands of years. It blows my mind how the craftsmen of those, that was just hand tools.
Yes, yeah.
And the carvings they did, and it just is like, I'm in awe. I went to look around. I think it was Alnwick Castle in Northumberland. So Harry Potter was filmed there, and we were up there a couple of years ago. I think in the first when we were allowed to go out in the first lockdown, we went away up to Northumberland. We were looking around Alnwick Castle, and they showing where they did the flying scenes in the first Harry Potter films when he was learning to fly on the broomstick.
Well,
inside there is a table. There's some amazing pieces of furniture. And I started looking at this piece of furniture, and it took 3 men, apparently, if I'm remembering this right, 3 men, about 10 years carving this one table. 3 men.
Wow.
10 years, just one table. I was like, mind blown.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
it was stuff that you just could not, it was so detailed and so skillful.
It is. And you think of it, these are probably some lost art. But then you look at watchmakers as well, and the time they put into some of these high-end watches in Switzerland or wherever. Years and years, maybe on, say 6 months on one particular watch. But I was going to quickly go back to some of the questions because we're missing out a few on here. So Lisbon, Cheryl from Lisbon.
Cheryl's got a question there.
I'm scanning. Yeah, go on. You go, mate.
Cheryl, question, and then you can look. Have you tried tools from Temu? And if so, what do you think? I haven't.
I've heard about Temu. I've only just heard about it.
I don't know. So this is new to me. Temu. Right. I need to.
Is this? I'm not a big fashion expert, clothing expert, but my wife was mentioning that it's better than Shein. Is that what I'm thinking about? The same thing here. Is it an online thing, an online site? But I think it's. Is it like Manu? They do a lot.
Yes, they do. Yes, I don't know, but I know the site. I know the website. Yes, I do.
Yeah, I'll have to definitely check. Check that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about tools, though, is while you're scanning for questions, the thing about the tools is that it speeds you up. I know. So I see somebody has made a comment that I use obviously a nail gun and a first and second fix. Nail guns, but that's about speed, because obviously there's a balance, isn't there? If you need to get a job done and you're being paid and you're in the trade, which I do, I'm getting paid for a lot of the things I do, so I need them. As they say, time is money. But there's a balance, isn't there?
It's normally the first fix stuff as well that you can't really see. It's like I've been putting the bathroom in upstairs, and it was in a spare room. And then I was taking the plasters off the wall. It's the old, there's a name for it, where the strips of wood and then the plaster over the top of it.
Lath and plaster.
Lath and plaster, yeah.
Plaster, yeah.
And then you look at all those panels of beads have gone all by hand.
Yeah.
Jobs, nailing one strip at a time, then plastering over the top of it. I mean, time consuming. But I suppose, could you say labour was cheap then?
But it was.
You look at the value of a house.
I think it just took longer because they didn't have power tools in the same way. So they did like these three men that built this table. You know, 3 of them for 10 years. You know, what that would have cost, I have no idea. Some lord of the manor or somebody that was very wealthy could afford to do it, to commission it. But blimey, would you get bored still 10 years doing one table? I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I might. I've got to be honest.
Different era.
10 years, another era. I might get bored.
I might get bored. Or do you have a choice? It's you work to survive, don't you? You're a tradesman. You're getting paid for it. Yeah, interesting. Reggie, he mentioned about these greenhouse. Yeah, if you haven't got it, I put him last week, and I'll do it again because Reggie deserves to be over 1,000 subscribers. He's the one with 4,500 videos on his channel. So he mentioned about his his greenhouse, hand-built greenhouse. Yeah, works really well. He's got multitude of a fortress in his back garden, basically, of sheds, outbuildings, and he's got a greenhouse in the middle, handmade. Does the job. Him and his wife. I think it's more his wife actually, Debbie, if you watch it, and he grows all sorts of vegetables in there and good quality as well. So.
Brilliant.
Big kudos.
I see the Bill has been to the Weald and Downland Museum. That's where the repair shop is. Yes, actually, he's put that in the comments. Anyone who in the UK that maybe knows of the repair shop, that's where it is. I love that program. Who loves that program? I'd love to go. So you've been there. The old carpentry on those buildings is incredible. Amazing skills back in the day. Brilliant. So. Wow,
what was it then? Was it a barn or something?
Pardon?
What was it? Was it a barn?
It is a barn. Is that where the barn, the repair shop? I think it probably is a number of barns. Is it, Bill? Is it a number of barns? Is it like a complex? Because what we see obviously is very tightly edited. We know that.
I'm wondering if it's filmed elsewhere and it's just the facade that you can see.
I don't know. But it says it's filmed at that place, so I'm not quite sure where that is. So I'd love to actually.
No. It'd be nice to take something in as well. Get your appearance on TV, Mark.
Me? Oh yeah, take something in. Yeah. I think you got to write into the program to get that. Yeah.
Just to say as well, we went on for about an hour and a half last week, but we're going to sort of limit it now to an hour or thereabouts.
Yes.
A few minutes either way each week, because we want to do it every week. There's no point cramming it into one particular week. And then we've got a bit of an announcement because we were talking about what we're going to call this live stream thing. So I'm thinking, if we work this out, I was on the other side of the screen last week, so now you're on that side. So if it works, right. So we're going to call it.
Ready?
Go on. Shed. Space. That worked.
I'm going to peer over the top. There we go.
There we go. Shed space.
Rob, get your nose just over the top.
What?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go.
What is that for a thumbnail? Is it?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Fantastic. So just a bit of a background. We wanted to find a name that was sort of to do with people in their sheds, in their own thoughts, in their own headspace. And of course, everyone really wants more space in their shed or workshop. And we thought that'd be a good name to call it. And so, yeah, and thanks for all the suggestions, by the way. Some cracking ones out there. I like Reggie's. He was saying Shedmen United. Which I think is quite good. But I don't think it's just men in it. So I think we'll give it a shed. Yeah.
Yeah. It's everybody. I think the reality is we've got actually Cheryl in here tonight, and it's really good to have you with us. Cheryl Scott Bailey. It's love it. And if does anyone know The Carpenter's Daughter? Does anyone watch The Carpenter's Daughter? Absolutely brilliant. Another channel. There's so many channels, isn't there? And I don't have. I'm dip in and out because I just don't have the time to watch like I would like to. And when I'm at home, obviously in the evening, I'm sitting with my best and my darling wife, who Rob actually saw briefly this evening. She came.
That's what was passing by.
Yeah, she came to get
wait for Mark.
Yes.
No, not really. She was getting
So
she was trying to hide at one point.
So I watch things with her and a lot of stuff, and we watch both together. We watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't watch. You won't be surprised to find that she doesn't watch woodworking and YouTube videos.
Great. Thanks, G. Thayer. Spread Chase is an awesome name. Thanks, mate.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Super.
And it's just we want it to be that. For some of us might know because Rob didn't know, but obviously I do know because I use it. But some of us will know about Headspace, which is a well-being app, and a lot of stuff. I use it, and I've been using it for a number of years. But this is Shedspace. Now, Rob, actually, I was thinking about it. Rob sent me the name Shedspace, and I went, "That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant." So we got Rob to thank with the actual Shedspace idea, and I thought, no, it's perfect because there's so much. It's actually a really current way because it's about about what we are as a channel, what Rob and I are, and what you guys and girls are out there, everybody out there, is it's your space and how important that is to you and what we get up to in it. So,
and it's a space to talk and space to chat, and like I say, it's not just targeted to us, these questions, it's to everybody. So everybody's in the chat. You may see that we've got a mixed bag of people in here. Frank Williams just joined us.
Brilliant.
Frank. Cheers, Frank. Great channel as well. If you haven't got onto Frank's channel, woodworking channel, I think he gets involved with other things as well, but generally woodworking. Superb channel. You must be subscribed to Frank as well, Mark.
Yeah.
All we need is space, shed space in our lives. Fantastic.
Fabulous.
That's an interesting comment there from Cheryl. If you want to look at that.
Oh yeah, yes. Oh yes. Oh, look at that. I take men for woodwork in a rehab unit for adults. Stuffing is that no suffering, not stuffing. She meant to say typing. It's amazing how what is it? Predictive typing or whatever. It changes the word, doesn't it? It's like brilliant. But suffering with mental health and addiction, woodwork is fabulous for the head. Cheryl, brilliant. For those of you who've been around my channel for a while, you'll know that I did for a decade work in acute mental health. So I absolutely, that's right up my street. And brilliant, absolutely brilliant, Cheryl. Keep at it. You've got our full support, and we're really excited. And please share more. If you're able to. We only the things you're allowed to share. But I know you know that.
Sure.
Rough and ready. Sorry, I'm late.
Fred, yeah. Hello, Fred.
Hello, Fred.
I'm just having a look, see if we missed any questions there. Now we're going. Right, I was quickly going to show you. I think you've got one as well, actually. I know you have. A little, right. So let's rewind a little bit. So, as you may know, some of you may know, Mark is a tradesman. He builds garden rooms to a high standard and a lot of outdoor garden furniture. And he needs a good quality item to achieve this. So he sticks to DeWalt. I, on the other hand, are a hobbyist. I'm a hobbyist. I'm a cheaper end. So what have you just bought, Mark?
What have I just bought? Literally on the same week. We both bought these on the same week. Here we go.
DeWalt grinder.
The grinder. There you go. Proper. It's 5 inch. It's 125 mil. It's not even opened. It's brand spanking new. I needed a new grinder. And Rob has got them. And he said, well, I've just gotten one of them. Look, there he is. Look, they're both called.
But there's the hobbyist one. So that's the Ferex version. So I'm being a bit of a traitor to Parkside, who's normally my favourite. But I was in Aldi the other day. Yeah. And they had the grinders on there, 5 inch. Doesn't come with the battery, so I'll buy that separate when it's in stock. It had a bit of a tear on the front, but I ain't worried about that. But on the front there, so it should be, is that right? $29.99.
Incredible.
$24.99. But I was looking on the rack and the middle aisle in Aldi, and it said £12.99.
Wow.
It says £12.99 on there. So she's doing a check. Oh, that must be a different one. I says, no, it's exactly the same. A 5 inch grinder, blah, blah, blah. £12.99. Cannot go wrong for what I wanted for anyway.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it, to do it if we Rob and I don't live anywhere near each other. We've actually never actually physically met. We've talked a lot. We've had phone calls. We've done all sorts of stuff. So we've become really quite good mates.
Yeah.
But we've never physically met. But wouldn't it be brilliant sometime to see these two side by side? The £12. This was in Screwfix. I bought this. It's bare. It's not with a battery because I've got quite a lot of batteries. So I bought it bare, body only, and it was 149. Reggie on the road. I'm a DeWalt man. Yay! Team DeWalt.
What's he for?
Reggie on the road is a DeWalt man. He said, "I'm a DeWalt man."
He's a DeWalt one. He's got some. I know he's got some cheap tools as well. He must have.
So, yeah, but wouldn't it be amazing? You off nicking bikes? What's that mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh, these. Yes.
We're off down the smoke. We're off in London this weekend. That's how.
Yeah, I'm going to struggle down here in Dorset. People don't leave their bikes in the same way. Maybe in the city, but no, I don't see many bikes around here. It's a bit too rural. I do see a lot of bikes. I see a lot of cyclists. But
you leave your doors open down there, don't you? Though.
Yeah, we do. We do. Yeah, I won't advertise that too much because someone might come down here, but might ruin it for my neighbours. But I do live. I'm very fortunate. I live in quite a very safe, low crime area, which is good. Good.
We mentioned last week about giving giveaways, and we don't know how we're going to do this yet. We might do some stickers and make a few. I don't know. We'll come up with something. But I had an idea. I'm putting a utility room upstairs, and the reason I'm doing that is washing machines in the UK. I think I'm right in saying this, that most of them are downstairs, either in a utility room or in the kitchen. There is a point to this point I'm making. but we're doing the kitchen downstairs.
Do I go and put the kettle on right now?
Yeah, put the kettle on. But my idea was, my wife's idea was to put utility room upstairs. The bathroom's upstairs, so the washing comes out, turn the wash basket into utility room upstairs. So I thought, yeah, why not? I think they do it quite a bit in the US, have the utility room on the first floor. So anyway, long story short, I thought to myself, I'll get some rubber pads for the bottom of the legs on the washing machine.
You don't want to wake you up in the bedroom next door when your washing machine's going, do you?
That's right. You might make the streets up. I'm going to make sure there's the floor joists.
On the spin cycle, you're thinking.
That's right. You might hear it down in Dorset. So I'm putting these rubber feet on it, basically just give it a bit more vibration free, shall we say. And then I was thinking about putting the plug that's going to go for the dryer, which is going to sit above it on top of a work surface. So then I thought to myself, well, I think the best thing to do, I could go on desks. Brett will know this straight away. Useless to useful. You have these little collars that go inside. Let me get one out.
Yeah.
So these things. So you drill a hole, and then you can put the plug through the work surface.
Yeah.
You can pop that out, and then you put that back. You can slide that across. It's a bit hard to do it actually, but so you slide that across, and then the cable comes through. I think
they are in desks. They're in desks.
Desk tidy. I think there's a name for them.
Yeah,
but they could be used on workbenches as well. But I was looking on Amazon. I only need one or two probably, and they were $4.99 for two. And then I was looking, the $4.99 for four, and then I was looking again, and there was $4.99 for 8. So I thought I'd get a pack of 8. So I've got a pack of 8. So I'm going to have about 3 spare. If anyone wants one of these, we're going to do this is just a test, a quick quiz. Fastest fingers first, shall we say. So we'll ask a few questions. If you want one of these, if you win, only put it in if you want to win. Send me an email with your address and I'll post you one out. So they could be used on worktops as well in workshops. So if you want to put a cable through for a compressor, we're going to plug it in above the work surface and the compressor's underneath, whatever. I've got some space. I thought we'd do 3. So the answers to these questions are literally one press of the keyboard. It's going to be one digit. It's either going to be a number or it's going to be a letter. So if you're ready, I've got 3 questions. Okay. It's not really to do with woodworking. Well, one is. Is this going well, Mark? Do I sound like?
No, it's going well. I was just thinking, are we going to have to up the ante with the level of prize giving as we go forward? Yeah.
Definitely.
At the moment,
We've got to see if anyone wants one of these. I've got some spare, and I thought if anyone wants one,
at the moment,
I'm going to give away. And this applies to you in America as well, or any part of the world. I'll send
my
it out.
grinder isn't a prize in this at the moment.
No, never give a
Not at
parent
the
away.
moment. Not at the moment.
Not at the
Maybe
moment.
sometime down the road.
Yeah, that's right. Well, if you share and we get up to, I don't know, 1,000 watches, I'll do one as a giveaway.
Yeah,
definitely.
no, absolutely. And we'll do a giveaway of some grinder. I'll give. There you go. If we share and if we get up to that, then I will get another one of these and I'll do a giveaway of an actual DeWalt grinder.
And I think the thing of sharing as well, we like to say, just share this thing with other people, you know, or friends.
Sorry,
only share with people that are interested, because we don't want to share with people that are not interested and they never watch us. So yeah. Anyway, so I've got 3 questions. This is the first question. So this will be the one who wins the first one of these things. Okay, so very quick. On the periodic table, what is the symbol represented for potassium? So it's one letter. So we're looking for the first person
in the chat.
Now, if someone knows, they'll get in there. So the symbol for potassium on the periodic table. Now, some people might be looking on Google. Some might be looking.
Right.
Not quite, Fred.
Not quite. Oh, yeah.
Hey,
Dances with our box.
Well done, mate. You've won one of them. In fact, you can have 2. In fact, you can have 2.
No expense spared on this channel.
Wow! I bet that's made your year.
Oh, I tell you, that's a life-changing event.
Dancers and Aardvarks.
Like winning the lottery.
As you're the first one, you can have 2 of them, and I think I'll throw something else in as well. I'll stick something. Bingo!
Bingo! Yeah.
Right, so I'll stick 2 of them in, and I'll put you something else in there as well. So
okay.
I'm giving away 4.
Right. Next question.
Okay. Next question. Make it quick. Right. So I've not written these out actually. I've just wrote the answers.
You don't even know.
I don't remember how to phrase it without
saying this right. Is.
Right. Okay. Right. Here we go. I'll write them down properly next time. Right. So 50 point what millimeters is 2 inches? Does that make sense?
50 point what
millimeters is
equals 2 inches. What is the point? What is the point of a millimeter?
Yeah.
That makes it 50 plus point what that makes 2 inches. 8. No.
Oh, look at that Island's Dream. Got it.
Oh, Bill. Oh, that was quick. Top back of the neck.
Quick.
Oh,
he's got it.
Did he have a tape measure or did he just know? Did he have a tape measure and go 50.8? Oh,
yeah. Did you know that? Did you know that?
We don't know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't
matter. But anyway, it's a bit of fun.
I wouldn't have known that. There's no way. not off the top of my head.
I looked it up a bit ago on Google. Okay. Island's Dream, you've got one of them as well. If you want to stick your
I'll tell you, yeah. Just knew. He's laughing emoji. Just knew. He just knew. Brilliant.
So that's the other one. Right. So yeah, send your address to weekendshed@yahoo.com. And if you go back through the chat, you'll see I wrote it in there as well. So last one. Oh, this is quite well, I don't know if it's an easy one. Depends what you're watching this on. What is, in fact, it still won't matter. Anyway, what is the 17th letter of the alphabet? Now, this is fingers first. So it's like A, B, C. So what is the 17th letter of the alphabet?
What in bated
Everyone's
breath.
singing now. A, B, C.
Yeah, all counting. Who can count the fastest? Q.
Hey! Rough and ready. You've won one as well, mate.
Oh, brilliant. That was fast. Rough and ready. Useless to useful. Brilliant. Straight in. But yeah.
Sorry, it wasn't. So what about? I'm losing track. Who's won one?
Right. Dances with Aardvarks.
That was it. I said Rough and Ready.
And Idler's Dream and Rough and Ready.
Oh no, Rough and Ready. Sorry, I thought it was useless. Yeah,
no, Rough and Ready. Rough and Ready.
He's done it in lowercase.
Sorry, Brett.
Brett must have thousands of these anyway.
always wanted one of those. Yeah, I tell you, I lie awake dreaming that.
I know. I've been so excited to show you this giveaway.
Like Christmas. Like kids at Christmas. That's so funny.
Fantastic. Right. You can stick your emails in, we'll get them sent out to you. And I'll find something else in there. I've got, here we go. This is useful. I've got 1,000 cable port covers. Fine, I'm fine. Yeah.
I've got thousands of cable port.
His day job, you know, he's talking about his day job and life. He installs desks in offices. So that's
yeah. Well, that extra one might have made a difference to your life. You might have thousands, but you know that extra one might have been the one. You never know.
A white one as well. A white one. I think they're normally grey, aren't they? They're normally grey. But anyway, good. Brilliant. Right, we've got more questions or comments or anything.
Comments to Rob or I about our channels. Any comments or any questions you want to put to either of us? About what we've been up to this week or what's going on in our I've been just while I'm talking about it, Adam says need the drill to go with those port covers, mate. Yeah, or the hole saw. Yeah, you need a hole saw for that, the right size. Oh look, he's gonna find one now. There we go. Yeah, I've got a nice little hole saw set.
I've got some in the house because I'm doing work in the house as well. I've got a full set. These are the spare ones. Oh, it's too small. Too small. I'll see if I can find one.
You need to go and get one. Get a nice set or get the exact one. Just go to you might struggle to find that in Lidl or Aldi.
You never know.
You never know.
This in the middle aisle, look. This in the middle aisle.
In the middle aisle, you never know. But if you can conjure one up from the middle aisle, I'll eat something.
Oh, go on. What are you going to do? What's the
I'll eat my hat. There you go. I'll eat my hat. If you can conjure up the exact right dimension. I was just going to say this week, if you want any questions to Rob or I, if you've got anything that's going on, and you want to question in. Pardon?
I've got a question for you.
Oh, right. Okay.
Many of you may have seen he's been building this garden room. I just want to know what the process, now you've got a client, your process from beginning, from the idea when the clients come to you, to you presenting a drawing. Do you present a drawing? Do you talk through it with them? Do you go back to the drawing board about 4 or 5 times? I'm just interested to know don't know the ins and outs of the values and all this sort of thing, but just where do you get to that point where you go, tick, yeah, that's the one, sign off, crack on?
Yeah, good. Well, that's a good question. It's quite. I mean, when someone's spending that sort of money on those type of garden rooms, there's a process of probably in most of them quite a few months from first initial contact of them saying, because they've obviously can see I can do them or I have the potential to do what they're looking for, and then it's a number of discussions, going to meet the client, have a chat with them, find out their ideas. Do I do personally? No, I don't do drawings. I have worked to drawings. I've done some. I've done one. The last one actually I did was to a drawing, an architect's drawing. It wasn't detailed, but it had quite a lot of. It was scaled, and it was a reference for us while we built it. But as with lots of things I do, it's about constantly discussing with the client, the customer, and it evolves, and they've got these ideas. But because I could be flexible and say, well, we could do this and we could do this, or what do you think? And then they say, could we do this or could we do this? As it starts to be built, and I go, yeah, we can add that, we can do this, it'll cost this, is that okay? So what, and having that discussion with them and keeping it fluid means that it becomes a very bespoke piece, whether it's a garden, and we're particularly talking about a garden room. But do you need, with the garden room, do they need planning or building regs? No, you don't. It comes under permitted development, as long as a garden room has to stay to under a maximum height of 2.5 meters, 2.5 meters or under. Now, and you can build them at that. And as long as you stay under that, and it comes under permitted development. Now, where it starts to get that you might need planning is if you build a garden room and you wanted to rent it out as an Airbnb, basically you're gonna be sleeping in it, whether that's 1 month of the year or 9 months of the year or all the time. Then you get into planning because of the type of thing it's becoming, of what its use is. You don't need to have planning if you have plumbing into it, but you do need to just let building control know, building regs. You don't need to go through. I build it to building regs or as close to, but you don't need planning. You just need to, if you're going to have plumbing, just let building control know as a courtesy that you're doing that. But you don't need planning. But what they will ask you is, what is it going to be used for? And as long as you're clear and black and white, you'll never get in trouble. You know, whatever you use, and lots of people were using it for social spaces, or I built a couple that they're being used to run their businesses. So so it's a process. Does that answer your question? I've sort of rambled a bit there.
No, I think it does. Let's see what Adam thinks, but I think that pretty much covers it. And there's a lot of things I've learned from that as well. I mean, I knew the basics. One thing I was a bit unsure about, you know, if you've got a garden that's on a gradient like that, where do you take you've got the summer house or garden room that starts there? Where's the 2.5 from? Is it from that point there, from that top port?
No, from the highest point. From the highest point of the ground. It's from ground level. It's from ground level. But if you're on a gradient, your garden's there, it'll be taken from that point, 2.5. It won't be taken from there, because if you do that, you see, you'd be on your knees up here.
Well, this is it. I mean, and that's how I did mine. That's how I built mine. That's why I knew that it was
2.5 from that point on the ground. As long as that top bit is 2.5, you're fine. It's not 2.5 from the lowest, because that then would be 1.5 or whatever, or 2 meters. Just be too small. You couldn't build it. So it wouldn't work, and nobody can stand up in it.
Well, I always wonder, because it depends on the gradient, of course, as well. And does it go back down again? And I don't know if there's like loopholes, but I think I'm probably being quite selfish, because I'm asking from my point of view. Am I okay? And I think
I mean, in reality, if you put up a shed, I mean, a shed, you know, if you're literally just building a shed, I mean, very few sheds go above a couple of meters. So an actual just a shed. But if you're going into creating, because what you've got to build is the height for the roof to breathe. So that's where you get into cold roofs and hot roofs. And it's actually really difficult to do a warm roof and cold roofs. So it's really difficult to get a warm roof because of the 2.5 permitted development, the height. Because a warm roof is you've got the insulation all on top, and then you seal it. So that's a warm roof. Whereas a cold roof, you've got the ceiling, you've got your insulation up at the ceiling boards, your insulation. Then you've got all the air flow, which is your vented soffits and fascias. So you've got all your air, so all the building can breathe. That's why also you have all your battening on the outside of the wall. And then you do your cladding on the outside, whether that's timber, shiplap, or whether it's composite. But you allow all the building for airflow to go around.
To
breathe. So otherwise you'll sweat it.
You put your vents underneath the canopy as well, didn't you? Along the front there.
Yes. You do. You either do that, and you either buy just round air vents, which you can put a number of them in if you're putting them into timber, or you buy vented fascias and soffits, depending on and that comes down to, again, it comes down to price and what people can afford, budget. Because obviously, if you go into composite and UPVC, it's a lot more expensive. So
I was going to turn it a bit, because I don't think I've got any other questions there. But I was hunting. I was loft, actually, because we were doing work inside, and I found my first ever mobile phone. Completely off track here.
Wow.
I thought I'd show you all. So I don't know, what year did you get your first ever mobile phone?
Me,
roughly. Was it mid-90s, you think, or late 90s, or? Was it one of the early ones, like the 80s? You know, the bricks with the cord on.
I think I had the, what was it? The Nokia
3210, probably.
3310, was it?
Yeah, like late 90s,
yeah,
early 2000s.
Somewhere around there, and you could play. Yes, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Well, this is from 1994.
Oh, not that then. Not that early. I didn't have a mobile phone then.
It cost me an absolute arm and a leg, but I thought it was a Panasonic. Look.
Wow.
So with a proper aerial. Look at that.
Oh, proper. Oh,
and I found this cost me an arm and a leg. I was only young, and it was ridiculous. The phone cost me a fortune. You paid for all your calls, so every call was like, it's probably 50 pence back then as well.
Yeah.
Absolute arm and a leg. And but I was so pleased when I got it. I thought it was great for the first week. I had it for the first week, but then all my mates who didn't have one, few did, not many. Yeah. Oh, let me use my phone. Let you use your phone. Can I borrow your phone? Can I borrow your phone? Yeah, give me 50 pence. Oh no, just give me your phone. Blah, blah. So yeah, I realised after a short amount of time, it's one of the wisest things to have. But anyway, I thought I'd show you that. I mean, it's been sat there for the best part of 30 years. Panasonic, and I think these are the days. Well, they were the days before SIM cards and everything else. You had a designated number to your phone.
Did somebody say to you back then when you had it in '94? Never catch on.
Never catch on.
Never catch on.
They said that about computers, didn't they?
Yeah, it'll never catch on. We won't be doing that. Yeah.
Oh, well, just use your phone. You just use your phone.
We've all got these now. Somebody is. I see Dances with Aardvarks. I still use a 3310. Absolutely brilliant. And sure, mine was a Nokia 3310 in 2001. Yeah, it's about when I sort of, the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. I can't actually tell you when. Maybe my wife will tell me and go, "You didn't have one until 2010." You know, or something she would come and say to me. I completely exaggerated it.
You were one of the condemners. You were the one who said, "Never catch on."
And yeah, never catch on.
What's the only one there? They got a. But it's true though. How you look back now and think coping without a mobile phone. Obviously, we did.
Impossible. My life is run by it. Completely.
It is. It is your life. When you lose it for 20 minutes, it's like it's game over. Everything's in there.
It's like.
I tell the grandkids because they've obviously got all mobile phones and stuff and iPhones or whatever. And I was saying, I remember when you used to go around to your friend's house and you couldn't use the phone at home because it cost too much. So you weren't allowed to use the phone at home. You'd have to cycle or run to your mate's house. So-and-so in. No. Go to the next house. So-and-so. No. Go to the next house. None of this texting. Are you in? Yes. You have to spend half your Saturday morning going around people's houses to see if your friends are in. And then trying it. If you lost someone, you go out drinking or whatever. You lose somebody. That's it. Game over. You don't see him for the rest of the night.
Brilliant.
So yeah.
I want to jump back to Adam. One of Adam's comments. He was asking about about tools and what's your I'm trying to find it. Most important tool or whatever. What's your favourite tool? I'm trying to find the comment.
Oh, the one you can't live without.
Well, yeah. And I did a video on this. I did a video somewhere back in my channel. I can't tell you how far back. You'd have to go and find it. And for me, it's a square. I use it literally on every single job, various different squares, but a square, because without that, I can't do my job. And so for me, it's the most important bit of kit. I just constantly, every time I have squares out all the time, whether it be a small square, a little engineering square, or the big 4-foot squares, you know, and roofing squares and all sorts of squares. But I'm always using the square.
I would say the most one I use the most, I suppose that's the one I can't live without. I think this is most of us. It's just the drill. I mean, drill, I mentioned it last week's video. I've got a really cheap brand, but they're really good quality. I mean, they're like 120 quid for a couple of them. It was a drill and the impact drive as well. Impact screwdriver. And and that's got real abuse. Through the years, I've used it for masonry, I've used it for woodwork, metalwork, everything. It constantly just gets beaten. And the good thing about drill, of course, is you can use it as called a screwdriver as well.
Well, you can now, We
had a shared line in the 70s. Shared line.
God, blimey.
Yeah. So how did that work then? You had was it an entire street?
No, I have no idea how that works. I don't know how that works. A shared line.
Is that an operator? That's ring the operator. You should. You're about that age, aren't you?
It used to ring me. I'm young that age. I'm 50.
I'm
You're
younger than you, so
whippersnapper.
I should know. I've heard someone mention. I don't know
I
if that's.
remember. I loved the 70s. I've got
There you go, party line.
Yeah, that's a party line. That's it, a party line.
Yeah.
Blimey. There you go.
Yeah. Also.
No, we didn't. I didn't have. I just had a phone. Yeah, I'm trying to think when I first really discovered us. Wow, I've always known I've been a telephone. There was one phone in the house, and you go and stand there. And I used to sit there and talk to Dawn when we first started going out, way back when, 38 years ago. And I sit in the toilet, but you try and have a private conversation, and you sit there. Can you get off the phone? You've been on there for an hour.
The swipe said something. Is a multi-tool cheating? I don't think it is, and it made me think something else.
No, I use it a lot. It's a brilliant. It's one of the. It's reciprocate. It's a reciprocating saw. But the multi-tool, I mean, actually, you can use it as a sander. I'd like to know how many people actually use a multi-tool for something else other than using it as a saw, just to get in. You get long blades like that, little thin blades, all sorts of different side blades. It comes out regularly, and it's a lifesaver for me. A multi-tool.
Yeah, I use it all the time. Yeah, just especially with plaster work and cutting out. You're putting electrics in or plumbing or whatever. It's always handy to have it on standby. Yeah. In fact, I bought this one, and I've been using it so much since I bought it. But it's 240 volt. I should have just bit the bullet and just bought a cordless one, which I probably will do actually, because I use it that. Plugging it in and plugging it out. So
you can't the things with the multi-tool and trying to cut it by hand. You simply can't get a saw in there very easily.
No, that's right.
Just gets in there, and you can go. If I hadn't have had a multi-tool, I'd have been in a world of pain trying to work out how to do that in a way that still looks nice. You chop it out. You chop it out, and you have some really sharp chisels. Which at the moment my chisels are as blunt as
rusty spoon.
It wouldn't even be. My chisels couldn't cut butter at the minute.
I
need to sharpen them.
Multi-tools as well. And what I thought of was, you remember the ones in the 70s, Black & Decker did them, where it was a drill, a saw, a jigsaw, and a sander. You remember them? The Black & Decker, I think. Who else did them? There's probably numerous companies where you had the main motor. You had an adapter, so you had a drill, and I think you took the chuck off, and then you put an adapter on, and it turns it into a sander. And then arm sander, you take that adapter off, then you can turn it into a jigsaw as well. And I think it had other adaptations. You don't see them anymore, do you? But I think you look at the price of batteries, and the batteries outweigh the price of the tools now, don't they? So
yeah, you've got to have it.
Add-on.
I mean, you can get a 2 amp battery, obviously a lot cheaper. Won't last. If you're doing a DIY stuff, then a 2 amp is fine. If you need to be, I don't think you need to be jumping up to 5 amp batteries just for. If you just need it for the occasional using it, I think that is I wouldn't. But obviously, I do need batteries that last a long time, so I do have a number of 5s, and I haven't got any 6s, but I have got quite a lot of 5s. Here we go.
I thought I'd join you at the start of this with a hat, because I know you like hats. I don't really wear hats. Because I've got the Union Jack theme in here, I thought I'd dig out my Union Jack hat.
Well, I'll be like you and take my hat off. That'll confuse everybody.
That's right. I haven't got a hat on. So I was going to wear this for this, but it's muggy. It's so humid.
Yeah, you've got woolly hat. I only wear my woolly hats in the winter.
Yeah, well, there's only one hat. I don't really wear hats. You can see how much I'm receding now.
Yeah, I do. I think I mentioned this last week because obviously I'm known for wearing my hats. I've got a lot of hats. I've got a lot of hats, different types of hats that I wear. I've got the ones I pretty much wear all the time for work, because obviously they get really messy. But I've got lots of much nicer hats and all sorts of different ones. So,
Mr. Ben, not Mr. Ben.
Well, he got changed. Yes, Mr. Ben. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yes, he had a bit more than hats. He had a whole outfit, and then he became something.
That was it.
Yes,
was Wurzel Gummidge? He had a head.
Who?
Was it Wurzel changed his head?
Yes, he did. Wurzel Gummidge changed his head. Yes.
That was it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go back a bit. Well, we're on 59 minutes. So I think we're about. Was there anything else we wanted to mention? Apart from next week's live stream will be on my channel, Weekend Shedhead. put your notification bell on.
Yeah, it's alternating week on, week off, week on, week off. It's just alternating between our channels. So Rob will be hosting next week. We'll be here. Please share the love. Invite people or tell people, via, let people know to maybe come and check in. If you think somebody's going to benefit from it, then
all the merrier as well. The more people involved, the more questions that will come through, and the more sparking of conversation.
Absolutely.
But I must say, the caliber of people we've had, all you guys,
stunning.
are absolutely amazing.
Absolutely stunning.
Expect these sort of comments to keep coming through, and this chat to keep coming through. We certainly haven't struggled to say I find anything to talk about, and that's down to you guys. So thanks very much for that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, well, we've got a name, so next week it will say what we call ourselves, Shed Space. So
Shed Space.
Go there, yeah.
And if you can send any pictures across to that email, to Rob's email, if you can send any pictures of yourself, it would be absolutely. We can put up a little montage of us smiling away, giving a thumbs up or something in our sheds, in our spaces, shed spaces. All right.
Yeah, perfect.
Right.
Thank you. If you missed any questions, do apologise. There's one about Sean as well. He mentioned his hedge trimmer attachment for his Black & Decker drill. That was it. Yeah, so you used to be able to have the hedge trimmer and you turn it into something else. I think that's what he means on there. Frank Williams rejoined at the end. Thanks for coming anyway, Frank. You can watch it on replay.
You can watch it on catch up, as they say. You can watch the video. I'll release the video, and we will see you next week. So
we will.
Thanks for both of us.
You go first.
From me, Mark, at the Small Workshop of Just take care, everybody. Bye.
Take care. Cheers.
Well, how do I stop this?
You don't know what you're doing.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. I've got to try to stop it now.
Press X.
Oh, X. There we go. Bye.
See you, mate. Bye, everyone.